Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Zaid's Experience. My name is Zaid, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make tri-tip. It's going to be super easy guys, so just follow along and you'll be able to cook this in no time. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing two pieces of tri-tip. I'm going to be seasoning them a little bit differently, but nothing too crazy. You guys will find out real quick. So the first thing, when you go ahead and you buy your piece of tri-tip, there's usually two ways that you can go ahead and buy it. One is they usually peel it off and they take off all the pieces of fat or the excess fat, and that usually costs a lot more. So if you're on a budget, go ahead and buy it with the fat on. That's my recommendation, because they usually charge you like $2 to $3 more just to go ahead and take that fat off, or they usually put it into the price. And as I'm going to be showing you guys right now, it's super easy to go ahead and peel that fat off, especially if you have a boning knife. If you have a boning knife, this will make your life 10 times easier, and you can go ahead and take off that slab of fat literally in under a minute. So if you're buying the one without the fat, usually cost around $6, $7, $8, depending on what type of meat you're buying, the quality of it, all that. So first look into that, and depending on your budget, again, go ahead and buy it with the fat or without the fat. Now for today's purposes, we're going to be cooking the tri-tip in our oven. A lot of us don't have grills outside, so this is the easiest way, and it's super simple to make. So for one of the pieces of tri-tip, I'm going to be seasoning it with a couple of things. I'm going to be using smoked paprika, garlic powder, cumin, salt, and pepper, and that's about it. We're going to grab our spices and we're just going to go ahead and mix them around in the bowl, and right after that we're going to cover the entire piece of tri-tip with these spices. So just as a side tip guys, make sure you go ahead and use enough salt for your piece of tri-tip, remembering that we're going to be seasoning the entire piece of tri-tip, and it is pretty thick, so keep that in mind. Now for the second piece of tri-tip, I'm just going to use regular salt and pepper. Again, make sure you use enough salt, and they're literally ready to be put into the oven. So for today's purposes, we're going to be cooking our piece of tri-tip at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So my recommendation for cooking the piece of tri-tip is for every pound of tri-tip, go ahead and cook it for 15 to 18 minutes. Also, your oven comes into play quite a bit with this, so go ahead and try it out a couple of times and see what works best for you. So once you've done the math, go ahead and shove those pieces of tri-tip into the oven. After the time's gone by, go ahead and take it out, and you should be left with some bomb tri-tip. Whether you are doing carnivore, keto, or just want a great piece of tri-tip, I think this is a great way to go ahead and cook the tri-tip. But the main reason why I cook my tri-tip this way is because I can just go ahead and prep it, set it into the oven, go ahead and do my thing, put a timer in the background, then come and check back and just take it out of the oven. Now, a little recommendation, once you do take it out of the oven, make sure you go ahead and let those pieces of meat rest for at least 15 minutes. That way all the juices that are inside the meat, all the liquids come out, which will make your piece of tri-tip much more tender. Also remember guys, when you're cutting up this piece of tri-tip, make sure you go ahead and cut against the grain. This will make it a lot easier to chew, and it'll make it feel a lot more tender. What I mean by the grain is those lines of muscle that you start seeing along the side of the tri-tip or on the piece of tri-tip itself. If they are going, let's say this way, down, you want to cut the other way. So you're supposed to go against them completely. It'll make the piece of meat a lot easier to chew, and it will feel a lot more tender. It'll be a lot more flavorful. Trust me, you want to go ahead and do it. Now the only thing left to do guys is eat that piece of tri-tip. So that is it for today guys. Like I said, this is a quick one. It's a super simple one. It's easy to make. I love it. I do it all the time. That's why I cooked two pieces today. That way I can eat some of it today, and I can leave some of it for lunch tomorrow or for the next couple of days. But thanks for joining me on another episode of Zaid's Experience guys. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down there, and make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And hit that bell, that way you guys get notified every time I make a new video such as this. But that is it for today guys. The smell of this piece of tri-tip is intoxicating, and I am starving right now. Zaid out. Peace.